The Echoes of Destiny. Gabriel Archer had always felt that life was a series of hidden messages waiting to be deciphered, but nothing could have prepared him for the whirlwind that would upend his meticulously planned existence. At 29, he was an ambitious yet unassuming digital analyst living in the bustling neighborhoods of New York City. Gabriel's deep-set hazel eyes and earnest smile belied an inner longing for something far beyond the routine of daily commuting and spreadsheets. Late one autumn evening, as the amber glow of streetlights began to compete with the rising moon, he found an envelope slipped under his apartment door. Its handwritten seal, marked with a crest he had never seen before, beckoned him into a mystery that would span continents and redefine his destiny. The letter inside was brief but enigmatic: "The path to your truth lies intertwined with secrets older than time itself. Seek the relic hidden beneath the stars. Follow the whispers of history in the city of our beginnings." Gabriel's heart pounded as he read the words, the crisp paper seeming to vibrate with ancient energy. Among his cluttered possessions, he discovered an old family photograph he had long forgotten, a snapshot of his great-grandfather standing near the columns of the New York Public Library. Was this merely coincidence, or was it the spark that ignited the dormant part of his soul yearning for adventure? He decided to confide in his dearest friend, Emily Quinn, a spirited journalist with a nose for truth. Over a cup of steaming coffee in a crowded Manhattan cafe, Gabriel recounted the mysterious letter in a hushed tone. "It sounds like something out of a novel, Gabriel," Emily said, her eyes dancing with curiosity. "But sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. What if your great-grandfather left you a clue?" Her words, a mix of skepticism and wonder, provided the small spark of encouragement Gabriel needed to plunge into the unknown. In the weeks that followed, Gabriel meticulously retraced memories of old family gatherings and dusty attic relics. Among scattered notebooks and brittle letters, he found numerous obscure references to an ancestral expedition through Europe decades ago. A water-stained map, marked with coordinates and mysterious symbols, emerged as a tangible clue. The map pointed eastward from New York to London, then hinted at adventures in Paris and the sunlit corners of Italy. His curiosity now extinguished any remnants of his former ordinary life, and with Emily's support, he began to plan his journey. It was a crisp winter morning when Gabriel boarded a flight bound for London. As the plane touched down, the sprawling city skyline greeted him, a tangled mesh of historic architecture and modern buildings, exuding energy and promise. London's fog-draped streets and timeless bridges provided the perfect canvas for the unfolding narrative of his ancestry. On his first day exploring the city, he met Robert Monroe, a meticulous antiquarian with a penchant for unearthing long-forgotten lore. Robert's voice was measured and thoughtful as he said, "There are secrets hidden in every corner of London, Gabriel. Look not just with your eyes, but with your heart." Together, they pored over ancient records in the British Library. Robert recalled legends of clandestine societies and whispered conspiracies woven into the fabric of the city's history. "I've heard that your great-grandfather was involved in something larger than we can imagine, a search for relics that even today spark both wonder and peril," he remarked, flipping the pages of an aged ledger. These words set Gabriel on a trajectory he had never envisioned. His journey was now more than a personal quest, it was an expedition into a labyrinth of secrets and shadowy intrigues. Despite the long hours of research and restless nights haunted by half-forgotten dreams, Gabriel sensed that fate was gently guiding him. One evening, while wandering alongside the Thames, he encountered a mysterious woman in a navy coat and a discreet smile. Her name was Clara Donovan, and she professed to be a descendant of a rival lineage, one that had long strived to secure the relic for its own, more nefarious purposes. "I don't wish you harm, Gabriel, but if you dig too deep into the past, you may find that some secrets were meant to remain buried," Clara warned softly, her eyes flickering with both caution and unspoken longing. Gabriel's journey took an unexpected turn when a break in the storm of clues led him to Paris. The City of Lights was another world of elegant boulevards, bustling cafes, and time-worn buildings concealing myriad secrets in their ancient stones. In Paris, he found a curious ally in Antoine Leblanc, a resourceful art restorer who had inherited his family's storied connections to underground networks. Over long evenings by the Seine, Antoine provided Gabriel with both historical context and strategic counsel. Paris, with its grand museums and hidden courtyards, is like a sprawling puzzle waiting to be solved, Antoine mused one night as they sat at a rustic bistro. Your treasure lies not in gold, but in the stories of those who dared to dream centuries ago. As days blurred into nights, Gabriel's quest became a tapestry woven from thrilling escapes and heart-stopping revelations. At dawn in a misty alley near the Louvre, he found himself in a tense standoff with menacing figures clad in dark suits. The attackers, led by a hardened man with a scar that stretched across his weathered cheek, demanded the map. Hand it over, Archer, or face the consequences, the man growled. Gabriel's pulse raced as he clutched the ancient parchment to his chest. I won't let you erase my family's legacy, he retorted, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and determination. In a desperate bid for survival, he ducked into a narrow passage, the echoes of pursuit blending with his own ragged breaths. Throughout the chase, Gabriel's mind raced with memories of cherished moments, his mother's lullabies, his mentor's quiet wisdom, and Emily's unwavering belief in him. In the relative calm after the adrenaline-fueled confrontation, he found refuge in a hidden courtyard behind a centuries-old building in Montmartre. As twilight bathed the city in hues of lavender and gold, he carefully unfolded the map once more. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, as if acknowledging his resolve. That night, in the dim glow of a lamplight, Gabriel and Antoine deciphered a cryptic inscription suggesting that the next phase of his journey would take him to Italy, a land of sun-dappled ruins and secret coves. Italy welcomed Gabriel with the gentle rustling of olive groves and the scent of the Mediterranean in the air. Arriving in Naples, he felt an intoxicating mix of history and passion permeate every street. At a small, time-worn inn near the coast, he met Sofia Bellini, a local historian whose keen intellect and warm presence quickly made her indispensable to his expedition. The relic you seek is said to have been safeguarded by an ancient order of knights along the Amalfi coast, Sofia explained as they strolled along narrow cobblestone streets. They believed that the relic could unite fractured destinies and bring balance to the world. Gabriel, now accompanied by Sofia and occasionally flanked by the cautious assistance of Robert from afar via incessant phone calls, began to piece together the final segments of the map. Their search took them deep into the labyrinthine streets of Sorrento and along windswept cliffs that offered breathtaking views of the turquoise sea. The journey was fraught with peril, hidden crevices along rocky paths, unexpected landslides, and the ever-looming presence of an unknown adversary determined to thwart their progress. In one harrowing moment on a narrow cliffside path, a sudden tremor sent loose stones tumbling around them. As Gabriel clutched Sophia's hand to steady her, he muttered, "This is more than a relic, it's a call, a summons from history that insists we confront our fears head-on." As the days wore on, the expedition eventually led them to an ancient castle perched on a craggy outcrop overlooking the sea. With walls that had withstood centuries of storms and battles, the castle exuded an eerie blend of majesty and melancholy. Within its venerable corridors, secrets lurked behind every stone. Gabriel's heart pounded with anticipation as he unlocked a hidden door discovered behind a decaying tapestry, revealing a dim chamber lit by a solitary beam of sunlight piercing through a crack in the ceiling. It was here he found an ornate wooden chest, its surface intricately carved with symbols matching those on the map. Inside the chest lay a small, iridescent object, a relic that shimmered with an inner light. It was not crafted of gold or silver, but of a strange alloy that felt timeless, as if melding the past and the present. Sophia gasped softly, "This is it, Gabriel. The key to a legacy that has survived through generations." In that charged moment, the sound of footsteps echoed in the silence. The scarred man from London and his band of accomplices burst into the chamber. The tension thickened like the heavy Italian air at dusk. "You should have left well enough alone," the man snarled, his eyes glinting with malice as he advanced. Gabriel's voice was steady despite the chaos. "I cannot allow you to exploit what belongs to history and my family." With no time to lose, he ducked behind ancient pillars, Sophia and Gabriel exchanging desperate glances. The ensuing struggle was a blend of raw physicality and fierce determination. Steel clashed against the relic's mysterious surface as the attackers sought to seize it by force. Amid shouts and the grinding sound of stone underfoot, Gabriel felt an overwhelming conviction: he was fighting not just for his own destiny, but for each soul whose legacy was hidden in the folds of time. In the heat of combat, as dust swirled and shattered light danced across the cold stone floor, Robert's voice rang out through a concealed speaker from earlier arranged covered communications. "Gabriel, now! Use the relic's power!" The words, though cryptic, ignited a spark of clarity in his heart. Remembering an inscription from the map, a verse hinting that the relic's true strength was unlocked by one's unwavering resolve, Gabriel grasped the object tightly. A sudden surge of energy seemed to ripple through him. The attackers hesitated, their features contorted in shock as the relic bathed the chamber in an ephemeral glow. The ensuing moments resembled a dream. The assailants were overcome by a force that compelled them to retreat. Gasps filled the chamber as one by one, they fled into the darkness, leaving Gabriel, Sophia, and the few allies he had gathered to stand in stunned silence. In the quiet aftermath, Sophia reached out and gently touched his arm. "I've never seen anything like it, Gabriel." "What is it?" he replied, staring at the relic now dimming in the soft light. "It appears to be an artifact of unity, forged at the crossroads of cultures and eras. It may hold the power to mend old wounds and forge new alliances." In that exchange, a new chapter of understanding unfurled, that the true adventure was not simply in the physical quest, but in the transformation of their very souls. Over the following days, the castle's desolate halls transformed into a sanctuary of revelation. Gabriel and Sophia spent long hours deciphering inscriptions and piecing together fragments of lore that dated back to an era when knights and scholars worked side by side to protect humanity from the darkness of greed and strife. Conversations resonated with a quiet passion, as Sophia confided, "I have studied these artifacts all my life, but never in my wildest dreams did I believe I would witness their secrets firsthand. Perhaps this is our moment to show that compassion and courage can overcome even the darkest ambitions." Gabriel, equally moved, replied, "I once thought destiny was predetermined, but now I see that every choice we make shapes not only our fate, but the future of those connected to us through time and memory." The relic, now securely wrapped and hidden away, had summoned more than just danger. It had gathered allies, ancient and modern alike. With the favorable winds of a newfound alliance, Gabriel prepared to return to New York. His heart was heavy with the knowledge of the sacrifices made on his journey and deeply grateful for the lessons learned in faraway lands. Yet, as he stood on the precipice of departure under a vast Italian sky streaked with the vibrant colors of dusk, he knew that his adventure was a living testament to the enduring human spirit. Back in New York City, the everyday hum of urban life resumed its familiar rhythm, but Gabriel was transformed irrevocably. The relic, now displayed safely in a modest museum with historical ties to his family, attracted scholars and curious visitors from around the globe. Emily, who had maintained a close correspondence throughout his travels, greeted him with an exuberant smile upon his return. "You've changed, Gabriel. There's a strength in you now that I haven't seen before, a quiet, unyielding light," she said as they walked along the bustling avenues of Lower Manhattan. His eyes shone with a mixture of triumph and the bittersweet memories of distant lands. In the weeks that followed, Gabriel found himself recounting his extraordinary journey at symposiums, local gatherings, and online forums, always careful to highlight the value of history and the importance of preserving the legacies of those who came before him. His story inspired many to delve into their own familial secrets and to trust in the mysterious guidance of the universe. Yet, he remained humble, always acknowledging the unwavering support of his friends Emily, Robert, Clara, Antoine, Sophia, and countless others whose lives had interwoven with his quest. Through laughter and tears, debates and quiet moments of reflection, they had all come to understand that the pursuit of truth was an adventure in itself. Late one balmy summer night, while sitting on the fire escape of his apartment overlooking the twinkling skyline, Gabriel reflected on the incredible twists and turns of his journey. The relic had not conferred upon him supernatural powers, but rather had awakened within him an awareness of the deep biennial connection between the past and the present. Its mystique lay in its ability to remind him that history, with all its secrets, was a living narrative, a reminder that every person, no matter how ordinary they felt, contributed to a grand tapestry of human experience. Even as his adventures had drawn to a close, it was evident to Gabriel that true exploration was never confined to the unraveling of a single mystery. Life itself was an endless expedition filled with everyday discoveries and moments of profound connection. As he strolled through Central Park on a crisp autumn morning, he recalled Clara's cautionary words and Antoine's poetic observations. It was in these reflections that he found peace, a harmony forged from both the thrill of adventure and the serenity of embracing one's destiny. One evening, while savoring a quiet moment in a hidden bookstore off Mulberry Street, Gabriel encountered a young man named Daniel Reeves who was passionately searching for historical documents on secret societies and old legends. Their conversation flowed effortlessly into the early hours of the night. "I used to think that history was something static, locked away in dusty textbooks," Daniel admitted, swirling a cup of tea. "But your journey has shown me that history breathes and evolves with every step we take." Gabriel smiled, feeling an echo of his own early wonder. "Perhaps one day, you will embark on your own adventure. Never be afraid to follow the call of destiny." In that moment, it became clear that the legacy of exploration was not limited by time or geography, it was a flame passed down from one inquisitive soul to the next. In the ensuing months, Gabriel dedicated himself to encouraging others to delve into their own histories and to embrace the unexpected adventures that lay hidden behind each day's routine. He collaborated with scholars, historians, and even local communities to ensure that the relic's story and the wisdom it embodied were never forgotten. His lectures and interviews resonated deeply with audiences across major cities such as Chicago, San Francisco, and even abroad in London and Rome. Each narrative, each shared recollection, served as a reminder that the journey to understand one's heritage was as significant as any heroic quest recounted in legend. Through it all, Gabriel remained ever grateful for the moments of serendipity that had defied reason and logic. At times, on quiet nights in his study, he would unfurl the cherished map and trace the delicate lines and symbols with his fingertips, each mark a testament to the countless sacrifices, the whispered hopes, and the relentless pursuit of truth. It was in those quiet moments that he realized that the relic was never meant to be a mere artifact, it was a symbol of hope, urging each seeker to discover that even the most intricate mysteries could be unraveled when one dared to trust in the journey. The vibrant pulse of the modern world often masked the timeless narratives etched into the silent stones of ancient cities, yet Gabriel's adventure had rekindled his belief that every life was part of an epic saga. New York City, Paris, London, Naples, and the rugged cliffs of the Amalfi Coast had all played their roles like characters in a long-standing drama. And while the relic had been physically secured, its profound message that destiny is shaped by the choices we make and the bonds we forge lived on in the hearts of all who encountered its story. As twilight settled over the city one final time, Gabriel found himself standing on the banks of the Hudson River, watching the shimmering reflections of urban lights ripple across the water. In that peaceful solitude, he allowed himself a quiet moment of introspection. The myriad voices of the past, the whispered legends of daring adventurers, and the unwritten hopes of future dreamers converged to create a symphony of destiny that would echo far beyond his own lifetime. With renewed determination and humbled gratitude, he vowed to remain ever vigilant to the call of history, to embrace every twist of fate, and to share the invaluable lessons gleaned from his journey with the world. In a final, heartfelt conversation with Emily at their favorite rooftop cafe overlooking the city, he confided, "I have come to understand that our lives are stitched together by the threads of countless stories, each one waiting patiently to be discovered, cherished, and passed on." Emily, tears glistening as she listened, replied, "And it is through sharing our stories, our adventures, and our triumphs over adversity that we ensure these threads never fray, but instead bind us together in a tapestry of hope and resilience." Gabriel smiled warmly, the city lights in the background a testament to the countless lives and dreams that had paved the way for his own transformation. The journey that began with a mysterious letter had now come full circle, leaving Gabriel with a profound understanding that the true essence of adventure was not measured by grandiose exploits or the acquisition of priceless relics. Rather, it was found in the bravery to question the familiar, the courage to step into the unknown, and the resilience to learn from every setback along the way. His travels had opened a window into the vast panorama of human history, a vivid reminder that every soul is an integral part of an ever-expanding narrative. Even as the relic's enigmatic glow gradually faded into a cherished relic of the past, its legacy endured in the hearts of those who had dared to dream. Gabriel had learned that the meaning of destiny was not to be found in a solitary object or a single moment of revelation, but rather in the endless journey of growth, discovery, and connection that each new day offered. Standing beneath a star-studded sky on the river's edge, he whispered a quiet promise to the cosmos, that he, and all those whose lives he touched, would continue to seek out the hidden wonders of the world, embracing every twist and turn with unwavering hope and gratitude. And so, as the city hummed with life and the timeless echoes of history reverberated in every heartbeat, Gabriel Archer's adventure became a living legend, a reminder that even in the midst of modern chaos, the ancient call of destiny continues to guide the hearts of those brave enough to listen. This is a fictional tale and not based on actual events. If you enjoyed the story, subscribe to my channel, like, and check the description to see how you can support my work.